We have two big games tonight in the NBA playoffs, and we start with the Western Conference matchup between the Utah Jazz and the Clippers, vying to take on the Suns in the Western Conference Finals. Donovan Mitchell has been the story of this series. However, he hobbled himself, hurt his ankle in the last one. How important is it that he performs for the Jazz?
It's extremely important. You don't advance without Donovan Mitchell. Hopefully, they get Mike Conley back, because that now limits D. Mitch's usage. I like when he has the ball in his hands primarily, but he still also is gonna need that other person besides Ingles and besides Clarkson to initiate offense, so he could be the recipient of somebody creating for him. And so I think that usage also is what wears him down sometimes, because at 6'2", he performs like he's 6'8", and he's extremely fearless. He's a terrific three-point shooter, and he's clutch. And on the other side for the Clippers, they got Kawhi Leonard and PG in particular to show up when they needed them to.
Yep.
Because Paul George, and I was asked this question by Jay Will on Countdown, is he a superstar? It's not a diss for a player like him to be a great player, an all-NBA performer, but not quote-unquote considered a superstar. As a matter of fact, if you're counting, they're probably quote-unquote maybe 10, we'll do a list one day, superstars, but he has the ability to perform like one. And when you call yourself playoff P, now people are looking. When you team up with Kawhi Leonard, people are looking. When you're in the MVP race in OKC and they give up 4 first-round picks to get you, people are looking. And so this was a big game, and it was great to see him mix his game up. That's what I want to see more of. He's an improved ball handler and creator for others, but I want to see him playing more lockdown D and finishing at the hoop. Kawhi, don't worry about Kawhi. Don't worry about Kawhi. We already know when he get thick, we already know what to expect from Kawhi.
Yep. Moving on to the other matchup, this one in the Eastern Conference in Atlanta between the 76ers and the Hawks. Jalen Rose, I heard you're going to be at this one. I heard you're going to be in the building for this one.
Yes, yes, yes. Happy birthday, Gracie Rose, who turns 15 today. I'll be at the game with the Notorious One, and we're going to see if they can slow down Joel Embiid, who's been dominant, Ben Simmons, who's been attacking, and their perimeter defensive ferocity of Simmons and Thibault, and the offensive productivity of Harris playing defense against Trae Young. They've smothered the fella. He and Bogdanovich, they're getting blitzed. These guys are using their length. They're contested. They're trapping. Obviously, they're going to miss Danny Green's minutes, but not necessarily in this series. But for the Hawks, here's what happens. And our OG director, Tommy, taught this. Basketball isn't just a game. It's a religion. And I've been ordained. I'm a deacon. And the further that you advance in the playoffs, the more your weaknesses are going to show. You can't necessarily have injuries like Jamal Murray. And you know what else? This is where you miss the potential of a guy like Cam Reddish. This is where you miss DeAndre Hunter, because those 6'7", 6'8" guys can pile up on Bogdanovich and Trae Young because they don't have an athletic wing that they need to guard. And so Gallinari's a little bit older, and he's not going to give you that, that lateral movement. So now all three of those guys can load up on those two guys, and look at the difference between game 1 versus game 2 and 3.